Hey everybody, welcome to Beard and Brew. This is now what I call the culmination of just getting away from my old channel, starting over, and going with something that's a little more my speed, which is just very casual. And to me, I mean, just what I like to do is drink coffee, play video games, and today we're going to play Road Redemption, which is a spiritual successor to a game called Road Rash. For those of you that are probably about my age, remember the game Road Rash? There was Road Rash 64, and then, well, that was the one I always played, but there's Road Rash, and then it had many sequels. This has more of a kind of like a Mad Max feel to it. You're racing across Australia trying to catch an assassin, and we'll get into that story here in a minute, but let's pick our bike and our rider. You have the Hundo CBD, which is like, that's the normal, just, it's got more of an all-around feel for it as far as steering goes. The BMG, which is okay. The Harley Davidson, which is meh. The Braviso, why that's the expert bike, I have no idea. I'm guessing because it's a little harder to tame. It's probably not as quick on the response. The Snowblower 5000 sucks. If I was you, do not choose this bike unless you're just ready to be pissed, because I sure as hell was. The steering on is awful. And then we have the Manicotti instead of a Ducati. But we're gonna go ahead and go with the Hundo just because it's the all around. You have Dutch, who has 100% health and 100%. Nitro Punk health. His Nitro has 100%, and he has 50% critical hit. I'm sorry, his health is 75. Gordon Gecko, who, if you want a ton of experience in one go, this is your man. This is the guy you want. And then the Moto Soldier, who has 125 health, 75% Nitro, but 115% critical charge, which is pretty much what that means is that your guy on the hit can just knock people off in one hit. It's a period of uneasy peace for the country's biker gangs after decades of battle. In a stunning move, the masked assassin has killed the leader of the Iron Sight Weapons Cartel. The cartel has offered a bounty of $15 million to whoever brings in the assassin, dead or alive. Every biker in the country now races to catch him. There you go. That is the gist of the story. So there are different challenges, different requirements for each race. We're going to start on race 1, even though in the skill tree I've unlocked all the way up to where we could skip to race 6. But we're not going to do that because, for one, I'm still trying to unlock a lot of things because I think that's going to help me win or beat this whole game. So each race is different. So for instance, on this one we got to finish 3rd or better. Anytime you don't meet the requirement or the objective, I'm sorry. Anytime you don't meet the objective for that race, you lose 25% health at the end. Any money you make is based off whoever you knock off their bike. Anytime you knock somebody off your bike, you get cash for it. And there's different scenarios as far as stuff that'll net you more money. Decapitations net you more money, and you're racing against the Reapers, and the Reapers for the most part all have helmets, so your best bet is to knock the helmet off and then go for the Genghis Khan make Genghis Khan look like a vegan. I'm not going to do terrible Australian accents. It's just not going to happen. Oh, I'm sorry. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Just different stuff. You can wreck your opponent's... so, on the control, here's the control scheme, okay? Your let's see, I believe it's the Y button. Y attacks right, X attacks left. Okay, you don't want to do that. That's terrible. Let's see. Holding down the right trigger is what causes you to go. Holding down the left trigger. Oh goodness, what does the left trigger do? Right trigger's go, or accelerate, sorry. Oh, left trigger's brake. I'm stupid. I kept thinking left trigger does something else. The left bumper is the only one to me that really doesn't serve a purpose, because it's look behind you. And, I mean, it does if you have the gun, because you can look behind you and shoot the gun. So, okay, see how my weapon's on fire? Boom. One hit, you're off. You knock your opponent off. Or an opponent. Another rider. Whatever. You're part of the Jackals gang, which the Jackals gang, right now we're racing against the Reapers. We're trying to catch the assassin. We want the bounty, because the bounty would be good for our biker gang. Boom. That's a twofer. So see all those the little numbers popping up is the blue numbers. Anytime you knock somebody off their bike, the blue numbers net you nitro, the red numbers net you health, and then you net money for each person knocked off their bike. Like I said, anybody wearing a helmet, you can't really do any damage with the machete if they have a helmet on. Also, sorry in advance for the crazy driving. Oh my, that was great. Boom. I love this game. I loved Road Rash 64 when it came out. I loved it. It was probably one of my favorite games that I never owned. I used to just rent it all the time. Double tapping R puts on your nitro boosters. And that's usually I kind of wait until, oh my god. Usually I kind of wait until I'm like towards the front of the pack before I hit the nitro. Like I said, we just want to finish third, which is not going to happen. We're going to finish seventh, so we're going to lose some health. That sucks.
Still in this. Open up that throttle and go, or that bounty's gone.
That guy's always talking to you the whole time. My favorite line that guy has is, if here in later races, your gang shows up to help. Okay, so we have to hit 5 targets. Any guys with the big crosses above their heads is a target. You knock them off their bike, and that's one less target that you got to get, or that counts towards your target pace there. So we got to kill 5 guys or knock them off their bike, whatever. So you also have 4 weapons. Normally I'm terrible at these challenges, but we'll see how this goes. So right now I have a shovel. Boom. Take it. Just take it. Just take this fucking shovel. Both of you. Wow, I'm actually killing it right now, which is weird. Normally I do terrible at these. 4 weapons. You have, I have a, right now I've got the, holy shit. Right now I have the shovel, which is like, it's good on length. You can stay away from people. Compared to the sledgehammer, you kind of got to be close to get some decent hits with the sledge. Yeah, again, like I said, sorry for the motion sickness. I feel like I should put a disclaimer at the front of this video, like, yeah, hey, by the way, you may or may not enjoy this driving. Okay, so that guy right there, I believe in this game, don't quote me on this, I think he's called like Mr. Money or something. Boom. So you win that challenge right there. Once you hit the last guy, the race is over. So we don't have to do anything else. We're done. So we got a reward of $1,100. That's par for normal races. The last race will get you $1,600 because you have to take out the gang leader. But we'll get to that more later on. So Okay, more targets. Another target challenge. Your races are like target challenges, time challenges, which is you get like 3 minutes or so to get to the finish line. Doesn't matter what you finish at, you just gotta finish without, before the time runs out. So, and then the very last race is always taking out the gang leader. Anyways, so weapons. You've got like a blunt weapon, a machete. You'll get a gun, and then you'll also get an explosive, which is my personal favorite. I usually try to hold on to them, except for in the case of trucks. With trucks, I will stick them to the side of a truck and hope to God it picks up more targets than just the truck. Which sometimes, if they get in a big cluster and you stick something to a truck, oh my God, that was brutal. If you stick it to a truck and they're in a cluster, sometimes you can pick up more targets that way. So this game is a lot of fun. I know it kind of, at the beginning, it didn't generate a whole lot of great, oh wow. It didn't really generate a whole lot of great publicity, I don't think. But it's kind of grown a little bit. And so as I was saying, but anyway, I'm sorry. I'm kind of trying to explain some things. All right, so we got another target. That's good. Bam. Those explosions are great. There's guys with little blue, it's like a little blue tank above his head. And a guy with a little shield above his head. And those guys are all, they do different things. Obviously, if we kill the guy with health, we get our health back. You also get your health back anytime you knock somebody off their bike. So, that's always a plus. But my only gripe, so anybody that played Road Rash 64 knows that there was a wheelie button. I think it was the A button, because the way the 64 controller was laid out was that the Z button was your accelerator, and then your Z button was the accelerator, and then your A button was the wheelie, and then your C buttons was attack left, attack right, change weapons, stuff like that. And anyway, so the lack of a wheelie button in this game kind of irritates the hell out of me, because I could avoid some crashes hitting that wheelie button and then just hoping to God I land on the bike. So I'm guessing just to make it a little more realistic is why they just didn't add a wheelie button. Anyway, so stuff right here in the store, anything you buy stays with your character up until you die. The one thing you really want to try to get, you want to try to save at least, you want to try to save, $4,000 for the magic mushrooms. The magic mushrooms will automatically grant your player, like, essentially another life. So you pretty much have to go through this game right now as is, where you are just, you have to try to make it, you have to try to make good runs. Anytime you get knocked off your bike, or anytime you crash or you get just the shit knocked out of you, there you go. That's gonna be more, that's more health you're losing, and you don't want that, especially not chasing the gang leaders, because the gang leaders will screw you up pretty quick, and it's not something you want to do. See, again, wheelie button. Let's put a counter up for how many times I will crash into cars, just head-on collisions. That's always my super favorite fun move, is wait for oncoming traffic and then boot somebody out in front of a car. Works 100% of the time, all the time, as long as you time it right. Now, sometimes if you're like me and you know, like kamikaze it, you just, sometimes you get in front of the car. You wreck the guy, but then you also get wrecked. Alright, so that race, we raced 10th. We got 10th. That is not good. It's not what we want. We definitely want to get third. Didn't happen. Use that to your advantage next time. My favorite line that guy has, I don't know if I said it. I feel like I didn't. I think I was going to go there, but my favorite line that this guy has, anyways, yeah, like I said, later in the races, you have your teammates show up to help, but if you hit one of them by accident, you know, he's just like, "What are you doing? That's your fellow jackal." And it's like, I don't know, the delivery is just fantastic. All right, so now we got to take down the cops. Yeah. Pretty much the same as taking down the jackals, only you're taking down the cops. The only downside to these type of challenges... Okay, so now I got a machine gun. The only downside to these challenges is the fact that you will have cops trying to crash you head on. And you definitely don't want that. They will come out of nowhere. Boom. Take it. Oh, and I forgot to say that RB, the RB button is your get away. There we go. Got a target. The RB button is your grab button. Sometimes you can grab a guy and just slam his head into the bike and he will crash and it will count as a crash for you, or you know, knocking a dude off his bike. So you got that going for you. Yeah, like I said, this game is a lot of fun. There's a disclaimer. The cool thing about this, there's a disclaimer at the beginning of the game. The guys that made this were so super very proud of this game that they said anybody that wanted to stream it or monetize the game, you know, or monetize their video, they were all for it, which I thought was cool. You probably don't, I'm not really sure. I mean, I think people on any project kind of like this, you know, any exposure would be good exposure. No! I get the pipe bombs, and the pipe bombs are okay, but I mean, it's like you have to drop it at the right time. I always like to hold it till about the last second and then let it go. Sometimes you can kamikaze and just hold on to that damn thing and alright, what are we up to now? I think that's like 4 maybe, where I've crashed into a car head on. If you hold, I just hold on to it, pull right up to where I want to go, and just, you know, I mean, you're gonna take a crash and you'll take some health loss, but I mean, there we go. Oh my gosh, that's great. I mean, but you know, especially like when I get to the gang boss, if I know I'm on to the last hit or so to take the gang boss out, yeah, I'll pull up beside him and hold a pipe bomb and just let him have it. Kind of not the greatest thing. Anytime, oh, that's another cool thing. Anytime that you dodge danger, or a close call, I think is what they call it. Close calls are, there we go. It's the last target. Boom. Close calls will get your nitro tank added. So anytime that you almost get hit by a car, or you know, you dodge something at the last second, it counts as you know, a nitro boost. So they add nitro back into your tank, which I think is a great you know, I think it's another way, because there's so many times that you need to really use your nitro, but you don't want to burn through it, you know, in one go. You know, you kind of want to catch up and coast a little bit, try to build it back up, and then, like the Reaper leaders, they're way ahead of you. Or the Reaper leader's like way ahead of you. And it'll be this one dude with a purple a purple cross thing above his, or a purple crown or something, I think, above his character. And you want to take him out. That's your, I mean, but there are also the other racers, and they're out to, you know, you don't want to get surrounded by them, because I think, you know, it's, I'm guessing it's a, like a you know, they're trying to protect their leader. So what I like to do, don't use your mines, or you know, the ones that you stick to somebody. Don't use those in the beginning, you know, unless you can get more. And the reason I say that is because, wow, that was fast. And the reason I say that is because I hold on to him until then, because you can ride up to the boss and stick him to him, and you can kind of take him out a lot faster. Anyway, guys, so I'm thinking I might do one more of these, and then we'll move on to something else, just because the next parts are a lot of fun, because it's like more crashes, there's rooftop racing, there's all sorts of stuff. Plus I can build up my my tree a little more and get some cool things, like you know, stuff that can build your character. But yeah, this is the rooftop race. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off here. If you like that, or you like some of my older content when I was under the bonus points name, go ahead and hit that. Go ahead and hit the like button for one. That would be great. Leave a comment. You know, I'll take criticism of any kind. Really, I don't really care. You know, just like be cool, at least. So. Anyway, guys, next time we'll go to the next round of races, which is the Sigma Gang. They're essentially they're like cyborgs, so it's a little more complicated.